Takaji Okuda。
OK，
那我来简短为大家介绍一下，他出生在日本，在日本完成大学学位以后，到美国的 Oklahoma State University 获得建筑硕士学位，又回到日本，在日本的京都立命馆大学取得城市设计与环境博士的学位。他是美国和日本的注册建筑师、城市规划师，曾经在美国的安倍事务所工作过10年。他是教育家和社会工作者，有46年的专业经验，其中包括33年的国际教学经验，也曾经在辽国、菲律宾、墨西哥和美国从事社会志愿的服务，一位跨领域重视生态的建筑师、大学教授。The next speaker is Professor Takaji Okuda. He was born in Japan, and after completing his bachelor degree, he moved to the U.S., completed a master's degree at Oklahoma State University, and got a PhD in urban design and environment. University. He's an urban planner and educator and a social worker. 40 of professional experience, including 33 years of international teaching, and also volunteer in social service in law, Philippines, Mexico, and Israel. Let's welcome Professor Takaji Okuda. We created Placemaking, a healthy city in both.
Okay. Okay. Hello. Good morning. 你好吗？ Can you hear me? Can you see the slide? It's already PowerPoint is on. Can you see?
Yes, very well.
Okay. Okay. So if you have any problem with visual and audio, please let me know, Professor Lee Yu Chen. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Professor Takaji Okuda from Japan. Right now, I'm teaching CY Chaoyang University of Technology in Taichung. I'm very happy to be in Taiwan, especially this kind of pandemic corona situations, because that's kind of today's topic. We talk
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Professor.
Can you see the images?
Yeah, we cannot see your PPT.
Oh, I think, okay, so let me, okay, hold on. What's going on? Okay, let me, okay, try again. Okay, try again. Okay, try again. I think, if not, assistant Chen might be helping me, but anyway. Okay, should be on. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Well, just in case, I have 3 computer devices, so
yes, it's okay.
Okay, then, can you see? Okay, so should be. Then, okay, then, let me see. Okay. So, Professor Chen, can you see the?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, good. Okay. So let me. Okay, let me just reorganize my desktop monitors so I can operate PowerPoint and then group meet. Okay. Okay, I hope everyone can see the PowerPoint now. Okay, then first of all, I'm very delighted, honored to deliver a keynote speech for this conference this year. And then I really appreciate for the invitation and keynote speaker, Professor Chen. Now also Assistant Chen really helping me setting up last few days this kind of remote online conference devices. So as I said earlier, I'm using a 3 different computer device just in case. Don't worry, I can really manage somehow. Okay. Then, first of all, I'd like to present recreating green placemaking for the healthy city in post-pandemic. A case study of IM Pay's Dallas Plum vision with resident strategies. So then let's move to the next slide. Okay. Then let me start with today's social, urban, and environmental issues. Okay, now after globalization, okay, which means a flat, because of internationalism, industrialization, materialism. Okay, so now we are heading to the post-globalization, maybe coming back to localization. How about the smart city? How about the 5G? Then, how about the next one is part of the environment? Okay, that's not global warming, Eventually, this is a climate change, which is we are facing the ice age. So some kind of scientists really mislead us. Yes, we are heading global warming. I don't think so. Okay, then how about the population? Yes, some country overpopulated. And since my country, Japan, is depopulated, which is more senior citizen, I'm part of them, really more increases. Then, yes, now environment, yes, part of air pollution, water pollution, which is a waste management. But last couple of years, we are really talking about how about the deforestation, maybe Amazon, Australia, that's happened. Then, one of the big social issues, which is poverty with the children, which we cannot ignore when we designing urban design architecture as well. Since I have been practicing, start with urban planners way back to 1975 in Japan, then 5 years urban planner designing a highway system in Tokyo, Osaka, Japan. And somehow I felt really this humiliated, out of scale. Then I really moved back to US, start over architecture, which is design. But now, almost 45 years professional experience, including urban design and architect. Still, I'm practicing architect, and I own architecture office in US. So let me briefly talk about professional ethics. How about the professionalism? Why we're designing? Why we are planning? You know, and then what about urban sprawl? Okay, way back to 1950s, 60s, in speaking about urbanization. Well, that's pretty much depending on developers. Okay, because earlier we talked about flat globalization is a part of materialism, industrialism. We cannot design this kind of urbanization anymore. Okay, this is a typical urbanism really spreading. Now, another issue like Middle East, even Japan, since I used to be civil engineer, it's really possible, technically. You can make 1,000 meter high super skyscrapers. But do you think that's sustainable? Then one tower is going to be in Singapore. It's a green building. Green building is not just green vegetation. So that's the reason urban design architecture must be for the humanities. And then, since I'm still practicing architect in Japan and as well as the US, if you look at these days, architects, sometimes they are eager enough to make non-green material and, like casting press concrete. Casting press concrete is not organic and green material at all. That really hurt human being health because we talk about climate and culture. In Japan, is similar with Taiwan. Humidity is really, especially summer is really. Concrete is not absorbing humidity. So please think about professional aesthetic. Whatever you design plan has to be contribute to social, environmental responsibility. Otherwise, we are designing, planning, care about Earth as well as the human being and wellness. Then, way back to 2001, I kind of happened to be in Boston when air crash, World Trade Center in New York, 9/11. I was researching PhD dissertation, but this is called Civilization Conflict in 21st Century. Collapse of Western civilization. So one of my major, okay, yes, it's coming. Okay, one of urban critics, his neighbor Oswald Spengler, way back to 1920s, he's a German philosopher. Decline of the West. Okay, this is a kind of a civilization. Then this is a kind of a Oriental East civilization. Now we are here, 20th century. Now Western civilization really going down. Now we are really going up. So which means decline of West and rise of East. So if you look at the last 10 years, a lot of things have happened in the Middle East. US and let me see, EU as well. Now we have to really take initiative, Asia, Oriental. That's the reason 21st century is Oriental civilization. Now another philosopher, okay, he's way back to 1920, Louis Mumford, he's Jewish, but he's American urban critic. He's one of a prestigious book. He's published. Let me see. Culture of Cities. He's talking about cycle of growth and decay of cities. Well, a polis, well, maybe Stone Age. There is no settlement, just a simple and villages, maybe like a beginning of communities. Then, like more people, like this is kind of typical Western and cycle of growth and decay of cities. Like really coming from, like a highway or before highway, like a road, streetcar, something. Now, after World War II, 1960s, become urban sprawl, like New York, Tokyo become really more like a bigger cities. Now, 1980s, a megalopolis, because two big cities really joined together because of the suburbanization. Then, 20 years ago, 21st century happened. This is a collapse and decline of our community, decline of the civic life. Now we are here. Remember, Mr. Louis Mumford or predicted. We are now here. What happened? War, famine in Africa, catastrophe. Yes, that happened 10 years ago. Tohoku earthquake in Japan. Now, epidemic happened. Yes. So if I really show, okay, this is a British biologist, Patrick Geddes explained. City like amoebas, virus. Okay, people moving. There is a road. Then next one, okay, become like a core. Okay, which is a central business district. Now, beginning of a people, okay, moving in, but moving out. Then this one looks like here, megalopolis. Now really it become congested. Now this is a backflow moving out to suburb. Now we are here, necropolis. Now this is really integrate, no clear line communities. Then this core is collapsing. So like amoebas, once you really growing, that's happen, collapse, disappear. So hopefully, we are human beings enough to have knowledge. We cannot just let the collapse of cities, communities. Now how we can do it? Now, today that happened 1 year ago. Okay, a pandemic, corona, broken up. Then now we are really facing post-pandemic, which means paradigm shift, which means economic, education, politics, environment, urban design. Yes, earlier we mentioned, are you sure we can go to smart city? Are you sure we can go 5G? Because transportation, energy, infrastructure, everything can be changed. We cannot keep on whatever we have now has to be changed. Then now, methodology, briefly I can explain. Then previous page, I then explained about the paradigm shift. Okay, how will pandemic affect our urban design? Yes, healthier, inclusive street communities at community scale. Okay, that's happened. Well, last March, and I used almost 1 year ago, I used to teach in University of Philippines. And then March 21st, and coronavirus and crisis broken up. And I was told by Dean of College of Architecture, Professor Okuda, you have to really evacuate from Philippines because 4 hours later, airport will be closing down. So literally, I experienced what's going to happen. Then I came back to Japan. Then almost 40 days, I kind of self-quarantine at home. Then I kind of really encounter with whatever, in Japan, pretty much urbanization, where, technology and everything, but eventually really you cannot communicate anything because of, of course, a social distance doesn't mean anything physical. But anyway, so I really realized urban rhythm is not functioning anymore. So this is a free asset I can recommend. Focusing on access to core service. So community has to have a core element. Okay, integrated with green and blue open space. Then third, increase community, not city, regional scale planning with more community. So today's topic, and which is associated with IMP's Dallas vision. Okay, let me briefly talking about objective of healthy city with green infrastructure. Okay, current issues, yes. Healthy city is not only created through just a carbon monoxide, okay, reducing, okay, solving of climate change, energy crisis, maybe recycle something. But however, most important is city must be human settlement, which is some left out, especially urban planner, architect, they ignore. This is really I have to address. Human settlement. City has to be for human being, not for the high technology, not for the 5G, not for the infrastructure. So must be sustainability. Can be the more eco-green city and vision. Quality of the citizen life. So has to be less oriented automobile. Okay. Now we are getting to the Dallas vision's goals. So before that, briefly I summarize 1, 2, 3, 4 strategies. Urban structure, compact city. I'm not talking about smart city because population-wise, 30,000 people is really reasonable enough. Okay, you can less automobile-oriented, more pedestrian, with self-sufficient energy. So we are not talking about Greater Tokyo, Greater Taipei area. So it has to be community, before community, like more like if we have some kind of word in the Taipei itself, then in Taipei word, there is a community. The word can be the 30 population. Then definitely, I'm talking transportation must be green transportation. Then energy material flow, we have to really control. So those has to be really controlled. Then last one, I'm not talking about green building, sustainable green building. Has to be biphoric design means more connect to the nature. Okay, then this is a kind of showing a theoretical framework associated with the green infrastructure. When I studied a PhD, one of a regional and regional philosopher, his name was Benton Mackay. He graduated Harvard, and then he's kind of I'm using his kind of philosophy. Okay, then health city is a kind of more integrated in indigenous environment, which is a more, if you look at national region, definitely climate culture, a regional visit. Talk about like a garden city. Okay, instead of smart city, compact city, green infrastructure. Then wilderness is a pretty much nature you cannot touch, must be preserved. That's kind of we collapsing, especially in Japan, because one of our urbanization, okay, city become really end up to a suburb, and local areas end up losing the nature. So one of our biophilia, ecosystem. Okay. Then even in the urban, in the city, can you really recreating urban forest? Maybe urban agriculture. Then another is like I'm very happy to share with my philosophy, Japanese philosophy, Zen, with a Taiwanese professor student. We cannot understand, share each other. Nature, human being is harmony, unlike a Western. Western cultures, they conquer nature. So always, people is attacked, hierarchy. But this is a nature, human being harmony. So one of our community, if I see the community scale, culture planning. or culture landscape. Of course, foresting community, sense of a community. So now these days, revitalization community, neighborhood. Let me share my experience with community planning. Sometime I'm teaching in a university as educators. Then maybe half a year, then I really rather to the social volunteers Laos. Then last 3-4 years in Philippine communities around Manila, nearby campus. Then sometimes I go back to US, and then I realize as a part of our professional ethics, we have to really serve a community, social. Then I realized, especially, like I was born in Osaka, Japan. Then even Osaka is one of our mega cities. Since I used to raise and born small communities, like attached houses, really sensible communities. Now, this kind of today's an urban setting, even Japan, we're losing sense of identity of a community. Now we have to really bring back revitalization. Then one of the best communities are Philippines. The best community, because even they are living in informal settlement, like a slum. Eventually I used to live there. Because really everybody care each other, and really sense of a community is, of course, one of our religions in Catholic. But modern religion, people really care each other, help each other, sometimes share food or something, greeting each other. I cannot speak in Tagalog, even so, of course, lack of education over there for the kids. But because of really intimate, tied together community. But now, that's with the identity community. Then one thing, even small community in Philippines, as I said earlier, Philippines is the best community and sense of community. Always core of open space can be the church, can be the like a parking spot, kids are really playing a basket or something. There is a core element in the community. But if you look at the urban design, yes, we are losing, let me see, and core. Well, yes, there is some kind, literally, there is a sense of a park in Tokyo, but that's not in community scale. So one of methodology, what makes a great place? Okay, for instance, this is, I used to live in New York when I was with IMP. This is Times Square. Once a kind of a weekend, they close off, no access to automobile. If you plan for people and place, you get more people place. That's true. That's kind of missing the viewpoint of urban planners. You know why? They are working for developers. They are not working for designed for the people. So, of course, counterpart, if you can design automobile, there is no friendly pedestrian. Once you bring a car, once you really develop an infrastructure for the transportation, you cannot control anymore. So that's what makes a great place. This is a brief diagram showing 4 key attributes. Eventually, we use urban planner and practical, which is a placemaking, which is a promote people health, happiness, well-being. Okay, inner circle, 4 attributes: social, access, linkage, comfort, and image. User active. Once you go middle circle ring, it's another an evaluation character. It can be something special, user activity. Okay, engineer something. Okay, active. Then you can really provide design street function. Can be vegetation something. Okay. Then comfort and images start with the concept. Then middle is otherwise how you can really break down and design. Okay, can be workable. Okay. Then let me see. And then okay. Then another access, another pedestrian, and then okay, can be the access linkage something. Okay, so start with the social ability. Okay, this is a street. Okay, it looks like a pedestrian friendly and sidewalk. Okay, placemaking, public health, physical, psychological, social. Okay, feel stronger sense of place, attachment their community. Means this placemaking place make people coming back. Maybe some kind of a retail store, a restaurant and cafeteria opens up on a wide enough pedestrian something, like people can see, observe somebody else. Besides, crime-wise, people eyes on the street. Then next one, access and linkage. So you can see good city knows street are for the people. Yes, indeed. Okay, even bike riders, they share pedestrian. Sometimes bike and the road can be and separated for pedestrian, but has to be bike and pedestrian friendly sidewalk, and that's enough. So access of the place. Then comfort image. For instance, this kind of a community street. So you can see bookstore, retail store. Maybe they will provide owner and store owner provided, let me see, benches. So everybody watching each other. So that makes it safe, comfort images. The another is bring to the young people to the community because diversity, ages. So you cannot design only an elderly, even nursing home integrated kindergarten these days. Okay, that's another one of liable city, neighborhood. Then TOD means transit operated development. Now we call transit villages because if you think community like villages. Okay, now how about after green building? Beyond the green building, which means living community challenges. Okay, one of okay, there is 7 pillars, but let me just pick up 3 major ones. Health, yes, biophysical, host air. Okay, civilized environment, eco-environment for the creatures. Okay, ecology is, we are not designing handicapped people, which is a universal design. I think we used to use a lot as an architect way back to 20 years or something. Now we have to really think about life for the nature, creatures. Even creature has and social justice. The beauty, yes, definitely green building, one of wood can be, but inspiration education means you have to really promote educated people how those environments are important. That is the beauty spirits. Okay, now we are really getting to the case study IMPs to 2025 Dallas Vision by IMPs. I was way back to 1985, 11 years. I was very lucky enough to participate one of several master planning with human base. So this is one of Dallas plans. Okay, so of course, 30 years ago, there is no such a definition healthy cities, but maybe like a more interpret. Okay, recreating what we did, recreating revitalizing strong communities, seeking for diversity, walkability, sustainability. Okay, so this is a U.S. geography map. Dallas here. This is the Midwest. Okay, so this is we're working on setting about like a vision, goal for living, playing, working, visiting, investing. Growth management is very important. If you think about once you've designed a region, national, really skeleton communities, yes, including transportation, economy. Okay, then this is kind of typical showing the transportation system. Okay, earlier we talked about major urban region, Dallas-Fort Worth, Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. This is showing a population growing. Okay, then we kind of predicting. Okay, how about 20 years or something? Okay, now we suburbanize. Now we here. Okay, so this is showing downtown, which is a CBD, Central Business District, center city. There is a highways, okay? Then there is one of Calvato Santiago design, suspension bridges, as image of them. Okay, so this is showing a goal, a general goal, and 5 goals, then 6 strategic initiatives. Yes, improving quality of life, then protecting environment qualities. Now, first, setting what's important core asset. Then, one of today's issue, resilience strategy for the flood control, okay, which is the southern sector, which is slum. Then one of the engineers environment is a great forest, just maybe 15 kilometers south of downtown area. Then one of the landmark art district central business. Then strength preserve core asset, which is the Dallas images. As I said, so as long as this is a metropolitan, okay, urban setting, we cannot ignore images. Image is very important, whatever, New York, Washington, Dallas as well. So we kind of, this is one of a major asset, which is the center city, okay? Create of a new urban neighborhood with cultures. Okay, so this is a kind of showing center cities. Okay, I just prefer show the IMP design. Yes, IMP design 4 or 5 buildings in Dallas, one of RI Bank, and then this is Dallas City Hall, IBM Towers. Okay, one of the best symphony, Meyerson Symphony Centers. So, which is creating art district. This is a part of our cultural heritage. Then neighborhood. So speaking of neighborhood, scale is 5 minutes. As long as you have a core, then 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes walk distance. Yes, there is some kind of edge of neighborhood edge. Can be the green network or vegetation something. Now TOD is green light rail. We didn't propose anything heavy infrastructure like a highway system or something. Okay. Then look at this is more with a lot of community park with a neighborhood. Okay. Retail store opens up, communities. Then southern sectors, okay, which earlier I said, that's a part of and social issue because highest level of poverty. Well, I should not say that black people, but African heritage people like slum, and that's a part of our urban issues. Wherever you can design any place in the world, but poverty is one big one. But then recreation expanding, that's causing a problem because the southern part of the central city part is big forest. Whenever they have every 5 years, big flood issues. So let me show the more image diagram. Okay, Trinity River corridors. Okay, now you can see this is big. Can we say this is an urban forest? Why not? Because this is only 10 kilometers south of central city. Now we can setting flood control, multiple mode of transportation. We are not designing anything highway. Can be bypass, can be some kind of a service road go through a nearby river. Economy, okay? Recreating open space. Now this is a resilient city strategy for the flood control. So every 5 years, that's happening. You know, even whatever you're really creating, designing a more contemporary, modern urban design. Now look at overflow because disconnected from the river. So you cannot solving anything like origin. And origin out there, they're gonna develop mixed use and destroy the forest. But I am email pay with that such. Keep it, preserve. That's the reason preservation. Okay, now part of river walkways, Trinity River corridor. Yes, they can really bring a service road, you know, in case of traffic jam. Then creating a lake, okay, which is showing proposing, okay, maybe urban lake, later maybe a bike road, you know, cycling something. Then there is a service road. Okay, now this is a kind of healthy community with a diversity, walkability. Now, there used to be highways, the underpass. Then INP proposing this is the open space, and then above is a plaza, now connected. Yes, that's happened, see? Because central city, then other districts will disconnect. Then how about connected? Okay, how about green architecture? Then how about the urban forest? Okay, how about cascade, the landscape nearby? Okay, central city. Then greater forest city. Then preserving environment management. That's the reason. One of the engineers management, we cannot touch anything. Conservation, yes, we can really, you know, touch that. That's the reason wetland is really part of engineers. Now ecological management we propose. Okay, those kind of diagram, placemaking, LCC, biosphere, liable city. Now this is a summarized localization, humanity, community, engineers. Last one, professional authentic. Okay, this is my mentors. Urban design architecture is to solve a problem. Reveal essence of concept, relevant humanity, human behavior. Okay, I think that's all. I can end this presentation. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Professor Okuda. 好，麻烦各位来宾鼓掌完，请关闭你的麦克风，以免回响。Thank you, Professor Okuda from Chaoyang University of Technology.